Hello, my little snakelings. It's Zumea, and I'm doing a little bit of a different video today. um, I am going to be showing you guys how to, I guess, put an HD skin together, if you want to call it that. So basically, if you guys don't know how to put like HD hair or like eyes or clothing that you buy onto a skin, feel free to watch it. I will also be doing it as a normal skin to HD skin. That can be a little trickier, so please bear with me. I am not the greatest at explaining things, but I do hope this tutorial helps, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them and I will do my best to answer them. And of course, all the stuff that I use will be linked below like normal, because I'll probably use a bunch of different things because everyone makes such amazing assets. But yeah, so I have the skin here. It's just a blank skin, as you can tell. I think it's from Amazing. Amy. I'll just call her Amy. So link is gonna be below for her Gumroad. But as you guys can tell, I have a bunch of stuff, so don't mind that. But I'm gonna try to put a few different things on there to show you guys different things. But it's basically the same. You just have to really like make sure that it's like the right kind of format. So it's like either 2048 by 2048, or it'll be like 4096, I think it is, by 4096. So like this fits, but like if you have it, if it's gonna be bigger, then it'll be like bigger and it won't fit, if that makes sense to you guys. I hope it does. But like basically you just drag it into your photo editor, which you don't need Photoshop. I will be using Fire Alpaca for later because of the normal skin to HD. I find Fire Alpaca just kind of easier to upgrade, I guess you would call it, the skins to either 2048 or 4096. Half the time the skins I use are 4096, but I'll just do the 2048 2048. But yeah, so like the skin, like the asset should automatically like clip when you drag it in, but if not, you might have to like, it might be like a pixel or two off, so like you can always zoom in and fix it, you know, make sure it looks right. If not, then either the skin might be wrong or the asset might kind of be a little wonky. So if that happens, I would reach out to like the creator and be like, hey, this ain't adding up, like, you know, it's not matching with the thing, because I have had that problem before, and it's just like it's a little painful, but you know, it's just kind of how it is. And you know, sometimes you just can't do anything about it. But yeah, so it's basically, you know, you just kind of drag and drop it, you know, make sure it's aligned with where it should be at. You know, it shouldn't be like off of center or like this way, you know, it should automatically like click to it unless you accidentally, you know, grab it and like move it by accident, because when you have a full-on HD skin, that can happen a lot because you're trying to click one layer and it clicks on a different layer, especially if you have things like on top of each other. It can happen. So it happens, don't worry, it happens. Just, you know, just put it back. You know, or it's like, I think it's like Control Z for me to like, so if like I move it and like I need it back, you know, it's Control Z. I don't know what it would be for Mac, so I am sorry. You might have to look that up. I am really sorry. But yeah, no, basically it's really just the same with like any kind of assets, really. You can just throw it on there, you know, and just keep it. Now, you guys might be wondering how long it like can take to like make an HD skin, you know, with like throwing assets on it. It really depends, and I'm only saying that because everyone is different. So you might spend 5 minutes on it because you just don't give two shits, you know, you just might not care how it looks, so you just kind of throwing skins on there. That happens. It doesn't take long when you do that, though. It really doesn't. Now if you want to, I don't know what I just said. If you want to take your time to do it, then it can take a while. I'm not going to lie. I don't know why this isn't moving. Maybe it's just hating me. That's fine. But yeah, no. It, like, if you just want to play around with it, then, you know, it's just like, it can take a couple hours, you know, or if you just, like, if you got, like, if you just bought, like, 20 different HD, like, asset packs, like, I've done it myself, like, just open, you know, like, look at all of them and, like, on the skin and be like, yeah, okay, you know, like, just get a feel for everything, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, like, you can just have a bunch of different things, really, like, I don't know, you know, it just make sure, you know, like, this is a good example. If it should be under something, like the earrings, they should not be, like, on top, like those, because this looks a little weird. Because if you think about real life, you know, depending on your mask, you know, how, like, if you wear one, whether it's for, like, a cosplay or, like, just in general, like, sometimes they might go over your earrings, but sometimes it would be under your earrings, you know? But with Minecraft skins like those, this just looks weird. So, like, you can always play around with it, like, which way looks better, you know, like, does it look better like this? Or, like, you know, does it look better like that, you know? Same with, like, necklaces and stuff, you know? Although that's probably more gonna be on top of, like, your outfit that you put your character in, you know? Let me grab a necklace if I know where any of them are. Well, this one's a little short, but, like, if she wasn't wearing a dress, you know, like, this would probably be, like, on top of the outfit instead of, like, let me, oh, see what I mean? I grabbed her actual skin. Let's move this, and then let's just, where's the outfit? Like, you know, that looks a little weird, you know, you can't really see the necklace, so, like, having it above her outfit, you know, or his outfit, you know, it's the same for any gender skin, you know, male, female, Alex, Steve, you know, it does not matter. Just make sure, if you're using a Steve skin, make sure your outfit is for Steve and you're not using an Alex, because that'll look a little weird. And, you know, the same with using an Alex skin, but with, like, Steve model skins. Like, by the time this video goes out, the Rise of Destiny episode 1 will be out, so, like, if you guys saw Ariel at the end, her cape is a little messed up on, like, the bottom of her hands. That's because the cape is from Men of Trash, and they're not for Alex skins, and I didn't realize it until I was editing it together and all, so, like, it was a bit too late, but yeah, mistakes like that happen, you know, just a little weird and a little wonky. But yeah, so that's basically, like, the basics of how to put an HD skin together. Now, if you have a normal skin that you want to HD, with normal to HD, you either have to open, like, an editor. I just realized that she has no, okay, that's fine, sorry. You have to make sure everything's, like, a separate thing, so everything's, like, a separate layer. That way when you size it up and you extract it, you can, like, put things underneath everything. So it's recommended to, like, export the file as a PSD, which is, like, a Photoshop file, or a file that, I don't know, like, clip art and stuff files are, so I don't really know, but it's, like, a file that can handle layers and it's not a PNG. Which, let me just do this. This is what I normally do. And then, you know, you have all of these lovely layers, so I'm just going to save this as test, because I don't know what else to call it. So, like, FirePaca and, like, PNG, PSD, you know, those kind of things. So I'm just gonna do it as PSD, please. Remove everything as you need, you know, like, yeah. So, like, that way your outfit, like your shirt or something, is underneath, like, the hair, unless you want it to look like that, but that looks a little weird. So, like, you kind of want it above like, you know, you want your hair above whatever outfit you were putting your character in, and it's like the same. So like, let's say if you have like a normal skin like this, and it's not layered, you can either do two things. Before you size it up, you can always like delete everything. So like you can grab like everything and just delete it. That way when you size it up, it's all gone. But you would still have skin unless you give your character like an HD skin, so like you would have to delete everything. Or you can always just size it up and do it when it's sized up, but it's gonna be a little harder because it can be annoying. But let me just like do this real quick. Did forget to mention that sadly this is a bad skin to do it on because it has a white thing. It's a white shirt, but if you just like grab it and delete it, there's no skin. So if you don't have an HD skin and you want it to be like, you know, your skin tone, you are gonna have to grab the color. I don't use Firepacker that much anymore, so I'm sorry. I'm trying to learn everything myself. But yeah, no, you are going to have to make sure, you know, when you are deleting everything, you also make sure that you put your skin down. Because if not, you're not gonna, your skin's gonna be naked. Like there's not gonna be any skin really, because it's gonna be all gone, and that is something that you don't want, because you want your skin to have, well, a skin tone at least, you know. Now your skin is still gonna be like this, of course, when you size it up. So like you won't be able to put anything under your hair. So what I sometimes do is I duplicate it, and then I will just excuse me, I will just grab everything. You can either grab the hair, or you can just grab your skin tone, and then once you have it all grabbed, now if you want to do your like the face up here, you can. If not, you know, it's fine. Normally I delete the eyes anyways, but you can just delete it. Oh god. And then, you know, you still have this underneath it, if you want to anyways. And then you just size it up to the size that you're trying to do. I think it was 48. And then there you go, you have it sized up. Now you can always, you know, export it or save it as a PNG, but you won't have the layers like I mentioned earlier. Now there are free sites and like different programs that are free, like Firepacker is free. It's pretty good. Canva, I think it is actually. So it's a free website that you can allow layers. I don't know many people that uses it, but it is free. But now we have, you know, the two separate layers, so you can always add the flannel, and you know, if not, it will look like this, but you can always add the flannel. Now you guys might be wondering about the eyes, like if you wanted HD eyes but you never removed your eyes, you can always, let me grab these real quick, you can always just, you know, throw some on and people will not know the difference, you know, they just won't know. But sometimes I will, like, you know, either on my editor after I've sized it up, or you know, before I size it up, I will do what I did with the skins, and I'll just, you know, grab everything, you know, make sure everything's nice and neat, you know, like if it's hair, then it should be looking like hair. If it's not, then it should be, you know, the skin tone. So let me show you this. That's not what I'm trying to do. I can't, okay. There you go. Just, you know, do this, so that way that is brown hair, and then this will be skin tone, and then just, you know, go over it a couple times, make sure you got it all, you know, and then bam, she's eyeless, you know. And then still, you know, you can't even, with or without deleting the eyes, you know, you can't really tell because of the eyes over it, you know, and whatnot. But I think that's about it. But like I said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments. Now this skin is a good example because this is a Steve skin. Not my skin. The skin that I used is Alex, but the shirt is Steve, so it's fucky. But if I go and I grab, let's do this one. Not Steve, Alex. Not everyone has a Steve and Alex version for skins, so it's, yeah. I'm guessing I accidentally did some skinning there. Oops, that's my own fault. Oopsie. But normally that would not be there. As you guys can tell, that was just a mistake I made on my part. I am recording this when I'm a little tired, so I am sorry. But like that won't happen unless like you get a messed up skin. If you're downloading skins and just trying to use them or whatnot, yeah, that might happen. I don't know. But yeah, see, so Alex clothing fit perfectly with the arms. But now I think that's all. If you guys have any comments or questions or want to see another tutorial, feel free to leave them below in the comments. There you go. And yeah, I love you guys. Stay beautiful, scenic, and leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, my little stinklings.